Welcome back to my channel. I am Sigourney Rosario, where I encourage women to boss up in their business, their self-love journey, and then also their faith. I am super excited to be back with y'all and to talk to you about the importance of self-love and the difference between self-love and self-care. So let's go ahead and hop into the video. What self-love actually is, I brought up my handy dandy cell phone to Google the definition of self-love according to Google. So what they define self-love is regards of one's own well-being and happiness. Okay, I can agree with that. Self-care is the practice of taking care to preserve or improve one's own health. So, in saying that, there's a difference between self-care and self-love. And sometimes, a lot of times, we confuse the two. And I've seen so many YouTube videos talking about self-care in regards to self-love, and it's two separate things. The first thing that I want you to know about self-love is that, number one, it is not anything external. Self-love does not mean that you go get your nails done. Self-love does not mean that you wear a full face of makeup. Self-love does not mean that you are, I don't know, what else that people do? Take a long bubble bath. That is a form of self-care. Self-love, true essence of self-love, is nothing that is external. It's all internal. So whether you have makeup on, you still feel beautiful. Whether you have your nails done, you still feel beautiful. Whether you go work out, or whether you lose the 20 pounds or the 10 pounds, or gain the 20 pounds or the 10 pounds, you still feel beautiful. That is what self-love is. Self-love is looking yourself in the mirror, assessing where you are in life, and loving every bit of that. That is the tradition of self-love. It is not anything external. It is literally all internal. Number two, self-love is not based off of your circumstances. So a lot of times we can feel like, okay, if I get to this point in life, then I will really love myself. If I have children, I'll love myself. If I get married, I love myself. If I buy this house, you are incorrect. You're incorrect. It's okay. I've been there too. That does not mean that you love yourself. You are basing your own value off of circumstances that may not even happen. You know what I mean? You may never get into that house, but the house for you is the house for you. And so you cannot base it off of your circumstances. You have to literally look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, whether I'm up, whether I'm down, whether I'm left or right, I'm still loving myself. Whether I'm broke, I love myself. Whether I'm single, I love myself. Whether I'm married, I love myself. Whether I have a full house of kids and they running around getting on my last nerves, or if it's just me and Jesus by ourselves, thugging it out, I still love myself. Literally, do not base it off of your circumstances. Base it off of you. Whatever you have going on, whatever season you're in, that is what self-love is. Three, the thing that you need to know about self-love is that self-love is a journey. It wasn't until literally I got into God's presence and He began to really show me what self-love is, I started to realize that, you know what? Self-love is not perfection. Self-love is not a sacred spot that you get to when you're like 100 years old. I can love myself and I can enjoy the process and the journey of self-love. And sometimes a part of self-love is going down. When you go down and when you don't feel the most beautiful, and when you don't feel perfect all the time, or you don't feel like a 10 all the time, that is a part of loving yourself. Because you can say, you know what, girl, I still love you. You look a mess. You looking real crusty, dusty, and musty right now. But I love the crust. The crust is beautiful. It's power in the crust. You know what I mean? That is a part of self-love. People think, okay, you know what self-love is? I'm feeling like a 10 all the time. I'm the most beautiful thing walking. I'm just the baddest thing out there. And if you have that mindset, or you hear somebody else say that they have that mindset, they'll lie. Don't nobody feel like a perfect 10 every single time. So embracing the ups and downs of life, embracing the times that you don't feel as beautiful, it's all a part of the journey. The self-love journey is ups and downs, and it's twists and turns, and it looks different for every single person. But you've got to realize that it's all a journey. It's not one place that you arrive to. It's not some place that you'll get to when you're older. Enjoy the journey right now. Another part of enjoying the journey is realizing that perfection does not exist. There's no perfect person in this world. And we as women, myself included, I had to learn how to give myself grace. Give myself grace to mess up. Give myself grace to get it wrong. Give myself grace to just drop the ball and just to make a mistake. So a part of the self-love journey is if you feel like, you know what, I'm not really showing myself love. I'm not talking good about myself. I'm not treating myself well. Pick yourself up, turn it around, and do what you got to do to get yourself back on the wavelength of loving yourself. Fourth thing that you need to know about self-love is that, and this is going to sound really dumb. It's going to sound dumb, but I need you to hear me out when I tell you. All right? Self-love comes from self. I'm going to repeat it for the people in the back. Self-love comes from self. I'm going to say it one more time just in case you ain't hear me. I know. It's okay. Self-love comes from self. Y'all heard me? Okay, cool. So what that means is nobody else can give it to you. No other thing, item, materialistic thing can ever give it to you. It comes from yourself. It comes from yourself. So what that means is your family cannot give it to you. Your significant other cannot give it to you. Your spouse, your job, your boss, wearing Louis Vuitton every single day, wearing Gucci every single day, going on these lavish trips, that can never give it to you. Literally, it has to come from yourself. There has to be some part of yourself that you devote to just you. Literally got to take claim of your life. Whoever took your joy, whoever took your confidence, whoever, stole your identity, take it back. We all have stuff that happened to us. We all have stuff that we've been through that we may not have been proud of. But take back your identity. Take back that love for yourself. And if you do have a lot of stuff going on, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur, you're working for somebody else, or even if you're just single and you just have a lot going on, I really feel like there should be a part of yourself that you're selfish with. There should be a part of yourself that you say, you know what, this is for me and God. It may be this big in your heart. It may be a little small part. But that part of yourself should be devoted to just loving on yourself, communicating with your body, figuring out where you at mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. There should be a part of you that you keep sacred for just you and God. Another part of that is just building yourself up. Talking good. How are you talking to yourself? Are you speaking good vibes and good love and affirmations over yourself? Are you speaking, negativity or doubt or self-inflicted pain on yourself? Are you memorizing and thinking of and dwelling on people who've hurt you, people who have let you down, people who wasn't there? Your mama wasn't there, your daddy, your cousin, your mama, your auntie, your teacher wasn't there. When are we going to actually heal from that? You have got to heal from all of that. When you let go and you release, when you release it all to Jesus, you can receive everything that He has for you. Everything, all the blessings, all the love, all the favor over your life. All right, so moving on to self-care. Self-care is taking care of yourself. This is an action. This is something that you actually do. Self-love is more internal, where self-care is more external. That is the huge difference between the two. And your self-care journey or your self-care routine looks different for every single person. You may enjoy reading. You may enjoy going out with family, going out with friends, going out with your significant other. People feel like a form of self-care is getting their nails done, taking a long bubble bath, volunteering. Whatever it looks like for you, it's for you. But self-care, definitely, you've got to realize that it is action. It's putting things into motion. It's actually you doing something that brings you joy. Okay, it don't make sense to everybody else. It don't have to be something super productive. That's the thing about it. Self-care can be anything. If you like going outside and you like picking up leaves for whatever reason that brings you joy, baby, you get out there with your little scooper and you pick them leaves up. It doesn't have to be something productive. You don't have to be doing a huge impact. You don't have to be doing something to where you feel like I have to be furthering myself. It could be something simple. It could be something silly. It may even be something dumb to other people, but it makes sense to you. For me, I love painting. I love painting. I don't know what it is about it, but it calms me down. It soothes me. It brings me back to who I am. And I make it a mission, or I try my best to at least, to go painting at least once a month. So that's something has nothing to do with my purpose. It has nothing to do with making the world a better place. And it has nothing to do with me trying to beautify myself or to make myself look more attractive, like getting my nails done. It literally has no purpose but to bring me joy, and I'm okay with that. So figure out what self-care looks like for you and stick to a routine about it. Leading into my second point, you have got to figure out a way to fit self-care in. Self-care has to be fit in. There ain't no such thing as I'm just gonna love myself and I'm just gonna take care of my body and eat healthy and be this person that I want to be and not be able to fit it into your schedule. You have to make time for it. If you want to do like Sunday self-care, do that, and that day you devote to yourself, or maybe half a day or maybe an hour you devote to yourself. If you want to do like, some people take a week off and they just devote a whole week to loving themselves and doing different stuff. You can do that, but you have got to fit it into your schedule. Just like you fit in brushing your teeth, well, I will hope that you will fit that into your schedule. You should fit it in. But just like you fit in taking a shower, doing your hair, whatever you have to do on a regular basis, putting gas in your car, fit in self-care. Self-care is important. Self-care is important. And I really feel like we as women, we have the notion of always serving and always giving and always producing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like you should always be a servant. You should always be serving in some type of form. But self-care, y'all, is important. It's a part of serving yourself. And at the end of the day, you have to serve yourself before you can serve others. Fit self-care into that schedule, that planner, that day planner, whatever you got going on, fit it in there and make sure you make it a priority. Third thing that I want you to know about self-care is that self-care is not selfish. I used to think it was selfish. That's how I can talk about it. I used to think that if I needed a break, if I needed to take some time off, if I needed just time for myself, I feel like I was just being the most selfish person in the world, and that is not the truth at all. Self-care is not selfish. Actually, if you really want to be honest, self-care is the most valuable thing that you can do for yourself. It literally pours back into you. And it talks about in the Bible about how your cup runneth over. Your cup can't run over and help other people if your cup is empty, if you're not taking care of yourself. What good are you if you're tired, you stressed out, you angry, you upset, you mad, you bitter? How are you going to serve other people? So for you to be filled up so that you can really fill up other individuals, you have really and truly got to practice that self-care routine and stick to it. Don't allow other stuff to take priority. And like I said, I used to be that person, so where I would feel like, man, I should be doing something. I should be doing something. And it wasn't until one friend told me, like, she kind of checked me on it. She was like, when you're resting, you are doing something. And I was like, huh? What you mean? I don't understand what you're saying. When you are resting, that is something. That is an active form of self-care. And I was shook. I never thought of it in that manner. I feel like if more women were selfish, we will have more women who love themselves. I feel like if we were more selfish with our time, with our energy, with our focus, there would be so many women who actually really and truly love themselves, who would stop seeking validation from others, who would stop seeking validation from the world, and really truly looked inwardly and learned how to love themselves. So be selfish. It's okay. It's okay to be selfish. I'm giving you permission to be selfish. How about that? Honestly, y'all, like sometimes I'll just take leave just because I need self-care. Like they'll be like, what'd you do? Self-care. On Monday, I'll take myself out to dinner. On Tuesday, I'll go to Topgolf. On Wednesday, I'll probably do something like skydiving because I'm crazy, y'all. Y'all know I love me some adrenaline. I got to fit that into the schedule somewhere. And then on Thursday, I'll go get my nails done, my feet done, get a pedicure, get a massage. On Friday, I'll go out with some friends and we'll talk. We'll have brunch. On Saturday, I'll go volunteer, do something to give back to the local community. And on Sunday, I'll fill my spirit up with Jesus. Hallelujah. Amen. So, in closing remarks, love yourself. Love yourself. Fall deeper in love with yourself. Spend time with yourself. Literally sit yourself down and you say, you know what, girl, I love you. Girl, you beautiful. Girl, you smart. Girl, you destined for greatness. Girl, the world don't even know the things that you about to tap into. Girl, you make people's lives better. Girl, you amazing. Speak stuff over your life until it comes to pass. And even if it don't come to pass, it's on the way. God heard your prayer. God heard your affirmation. Speak stuff over your life and love on yourself. Okay? Love on yourself. If you need encouragement or you know somebody else who may need encouragement, please write into my foundation, Letters for Life, where I encourage people through writing handwritten letters of encouragement. As always, I love you, but most importantly though, God loves you. I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.